Okay, Questers, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I haven't done any videos for a while. I've just had some shit going on and hopefully it's all dealt with now. But yeah, I wanted to do this last week, but I just wasn't able to. To top it all off, my camera is now broken. Long story short, I was moving my stuff around, and I don't have a fully covered floor, and my floor is actually concrete. So when I knocked my camera off of my desk, and it broke, but luckily it's a cheap camera. It was about 30 quid, I think. But I'm going to get a better camera. I was going to get a better camera anyway. This is just going to push that forward. But hopefully I can get a much nicer camera in January. So hopefully you'll bear with me. But it will basically be like this from that point on. But I just realised I've got to put something in. I've got to do some branding. So give me a second. Should have done this before, but I just thought of it. So let's let's use this one. Right, okay. Right. Just want to put some branding in, or technically kind of like a watermark deal. Just bear with me for a second. You can actually see me doing it while I'm doing it. That's pretty cool. Right, so I need to, where are we? I believe that's what I will be doing. Nope, that's wrong. Yeah, so like I say, hopefully I can get a better camera soon and go from there. Let's just make this go about 50% ish. Just want to put a watermark on there. That's all. While I do these videos, that should do, I think. But I'll put a link in the description below to this article because this is what I wanted to do. So Halle Bailey and Rachel Zegler on becoming Disney princesses, singing live on set and blocking out toxic fans. Stay grateful and ignore the hate. That's a nice quote, actually. It's a very good quote. I'm actually very impressed that one of them come up with that. But I don't have a huge issue with Halle Bailey. Sorry, Halle Berry. But you know, Ziegler is the one that I have issues with. Because every single thing that she's been in has flopped and has lost money, but she's still getting work somehow. Does she know the right people? You know, but and also this becoming Disney princesses. Yes, Halle Berry, but Halle Berry again. Melvin, get it right. Becoming Disney princess. Yes, I agree. Yeah, she was Ariel. Ariel was a princess. But then every single one of her sisters was a princess, so she's not the only princess in The Little Mermaid. But Rachel Zegler, there's a fine there's things going on with Ziegler's Snow White that I don't. She's going to be lucky if it even gets released at this point with all the changes that they're making. But basically, this is going on about. I like the way it goes on about becoming Disney princesses, when technically they don't actually say anything about it. It's quite a long article. I won't go into it too much, but I will talk about a few parts of it. But you know, before I get started, guys, if you like my content, hit that thumbs up, give us that like, hit the subscribe button, and share it any way you like. And yeah, this is December 7th. Funny thing is, last time I looked at this article, it actually said December 8th, so something going on. Anyway, let's get into this. So this is the Variety article. So shortly after Halle Berry, I said it again. I said Berry. Why do I keep saying Berry? Halle Berry. That's why. Right. So shortly after Bailey and Rachel Zegler were crowned real-life Disney princesses. Is Rachel Zegler really crowned? I just did that thing again. I just clicked on her name and that happened. Right. Loading content. Right, we're crowned real-life Disney princesses. They met for the first time at a ball. The 2021 Met Gala. Well, a gala is not a ball. Just saying. To be exact. It was the beginning not only of a beautiful friendship, but of a new era for Disney. Really? Because, these two films flopped, right? They didn't earn Disney much at all compared to what they cost. And one of them hasn't even been released yet. Bailey became the first black Ariel in Rob Marshall's live-action adaptation of The Little Mermaid, based on Disney's beloved 1989 animated film. Yeah, it was a beloved movie. Yeah, I mean, I remember liking it when I was a kid. Even, I mean, I was more interested in the prince and the ships and stuff. I wasn't interested in the fact that it was a mermaid. But the music was good as well. I kind of liked some of the music, which is probably why I watched it, to be honest, because of the music. But I mean, Disney have come a long way, and they've completely messed up recently. I mean, I don't know when their last actual successful movie was. It's that bad. Ziegler, who used to dress up as Snow White. If any of you guys have watched any of Mr. H reviews or any of the other larger YouTube channels, you would know that, Ziegler is a liar and a narcissist. Because one minute she's saying that she watched it once, and then all of a sudden she's saying that she loved it. And then she's saying she used to dress up as Snow White as a little girl. It's bullshit, mate. So absolute bullshit. Will embody a Latina fairy tale heroine who befriends 7 CGI created dwarves. Not just that fact there, in 2025's. They essentially finished filming, and then whilst it was still in post-production, they decided that instead of 7 magical creatures, they wanted CGI dwarves. And I wonder if they've got Ziegler heading back to do any shooting. But I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'd be surprised if Snow White doesn't get cancelled, to be honest, especially with what's happening next year. I mean, we've got to keep an eye on what's going on at Disney in 2024 because we've got those guys trying to get on the board, right? I'll go into that into more detail in another video. So the singer actors. Have you heard Rachel Zegler sing in the Hunger Games ballads of Songbirds and Snakes? Because as far as I can tell, she can't fucking sing. She's a baritone, if anything. Showcasing their golden voices in literary adaptations. Right, okay, yeah, Bailey's got a voice. She's a performer. She's a singer. I think she even says in this article, in this interview, that it was her first movie. She hadn't been in a movie before. She's a music performer. She's a singer. She wasn't an actress. She's just. I think Bailey is essentially following on some of her idols, like I don't know, Beyonce and some of the others. These singers that became actors. As young Nettie in The Color Purple. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to bother watching The Colour Purple. I might wait until it comes out for streaming, to be honest. But I don't know if I'm going to bother. It's not my cup of tea. Let's just say it. But I don't have a problem with Bailey. I mean, people might start saying that I'm racist or something, but I have no problem with her being black. The problem I have is when they race swap a beloved character, and they've said it here. They've said it here before. Beloved. Where was it? Beloved, beloved, beloved. I'm pretty sure they've said it up here. There we go. Beloved 1989 animated film. So it's a beloved character. But Zegler, Latina. I mean, doesn't she like to make a point that she's half Polish or something like that? But I don't think she's a singer actor. She's just an actor. She's in it for the money. She's not in it for anything else. Otherwise, she wouldn't be attacking the so-called toxic fans. I must be a toxic fan because I don't like her. But Bailey, I don't mind Bailey. I mean, I think she's a good-looking young woman. She's got a nice voice. You know, she can act. I'm gonna keep an eye out in anything for anything she's in the future. But Ziegler, I have no real interest in seeing anything. I mean, there's something that she says in this article that really, really eats at me. I think it was in the video. I watched the video the other day, and it was the video's down here. It's in the article. That's the video. There's the video. Where that ad is. And now I've got. Why do they do that? I hate it when they do that. Well, at least I don't have to see it. But she says that she's the one. She's the number one. She's the first. But she's not. She's in a prequel. Prequels are notoriously bad in franchises, right? So she's in a prequel. Plain and simple. It doesn't mean that she's good. She's going off her so-called success because she was in a huge budget Disney movie, Snow White. They wanted her in Hunger Games, basically. And it even says there, prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's a prequel. Prequels are notoriously bad. Bailey 23 and Ziegler 22. Ooh, there's probably not even a year between them. Reflect on their princess experiences and strategies for silencing the social media haters. We're not silenced. We're loud as ever. Right? You can't shut social media up because, hey, you have the First Amendment, right? In America, freedom of speech. In the UK, we have freedom of expression, which has freedom in speech, which covers freedom of speech in this country, in the UK. So, yeah. And the fact that Bailey can't even bring herself to say the whole title of the movie, she just calls it Mermaid. This is a whole new world, Mermaid. Was really my first big film. See, there you go, big film. She said it in this article. And it was interesting because going into something that means so much to so many people for my first project was very overwhelming. Yeah, I can understand it being overwhelming, but the thing is, it's not your fault that it tanked in the box office. It didn't do that well, and you're sitting across in this fucking interview. You're sitting opposite someone who is in one of the worst films in. It's so bad that they wanted to reshoot it and replace the 7 magical creatures with 7 CGI dwarves that are not dwarves because they're taller than she is. Because they're basically just CGIing over the 7 magical creatures. That's why they changed it. I think if you watch the video, then it'll actually show you a picture of what they'll look like, and some of them are like 2 feet taller than Ziegler is. It's crazy, but overwhelmingly beautiful, she says. So yeah, To be honest, I think The Little Mermaid was a beautifully made movie. It was just, for me, it was the bad adaptation. It was the director's fault and the production of it that was the mistake that made the mistakes. I don't think she was the big problem, and and she can't call us racist because I mean it's not her that we're attacking. It's Ziegler that gets attacked in the on social media because she's who fired the first shots? She did. Ziegler fired the first shots at the fans. Before the film was even started. And also saying saying in an interview at a premiere, I believe it was, that that the prince was a stalker, and also another time saying that the guy that played the prince might even get cut out altogether. Really? Message everyone much? When I rapped, I felt such freedom and I was so proud of myself. I stumbled a bit along the way, but in the end, I came out way stronger. Yeah, you would come out stronger because you've just made your first bloody movie. Your first big movie. Of course you'll come out stronger because you would know something about it now. You would know what it's like to be in a large production movie, right? Ariel taught me so much about myself. She taught you a lot about yourself, right? Yeah, I suppose it could do that. So coming out of that energy into Colour Purple, they don't say the full fucking titles. They don't. And if I come up here, the Colour Purple is the full title. Sounds familiar. Sounds like a title I've heard before. Was so beautiful for me because I felt more comfortable in my skin. I don't mind that. You've just done a big production film, and now you're going into a potentially another one. So, yeah, you'd think that you'd feel more comfortable doing your job, right? Especially if you're doing it for Disney, and then you come out and do another one, but then to get to be on an all black set. Is everyone black? Is every cameraman black? Is every writer black? Because don't get me wrong, you can have every all black set, but isn't there a law in the US? I think there's one here that there has to be a majority. There has to be it's like a racial thing or something. There has to be a certain number of skin types, if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that you can't have an all black set. She's not saying cast, she's saying set. So that means everyone that works on the set, every cameraman, every sound man, every editor, every writer, everyone involved is black. That, to me, screams bullshit, because that would be technically illegal, right? Because everything has to have, especially if you're one of these people that say, "Oh, we're so diverse," yet we're in an all black. We're doing a film and it's an all black set. And for saying that, I'll probably get accused of being racist, which would not be the first time, by the way. I was accused of being a racist in school, yet I was the one getting jumped by 10 people at the bus stop for something I didn't even fucking say. I didn't even know who it was that did it, except after my swelling went down, I had a black eye, my nose was swollen and everything, not broken. And I couldn't go to school for, I think it was a week after that with the injuries. The doctors told us to stay home and everything. And then when I went back, a kid 2 years below me said, "Oh, how's your nose? How's your broken nose?" Who the fuck are you? I didn't even know who the fuck the kid was. And I found out a few weeks after that it was his brother that led the guys that jumped me at the bus stop. That, gave me the injuries in the first place. And I was the racist one? Really? So I've had my battles with racism, so I can tell you right off the bat, I am not racist. In my history, in my life, the only people that have been racist have been the ones that have accused me of it. I'm just saying. But if you say it's an all-black set, wow. Very diverse, very inclusive. But anyway, where you feel like you're at a family reunion every day. You felt like you was at a family reunion. What? Is every single member of your family black? Every single member of your family is black, right? Is that what you're saying? Every single member. One of your family members hasn't got a white guy or a white woman. You're going to say everyone's black. Is that right? Was the best thing ever. I'm sorry, but that to me gives me the idea of someone being racist. Saying that because everyone was black, felt like a family reunion every day, was the best thing ever. So the best thing ever was you being on an all black set, feeling like you was at a family reunion because everyone was black. There wasn't a white guy in sight, right? Now that to me screams racism. I'm just saying. Best thing ever. And it's not her. I don't have a problem with her saying that, because if it was an all black set, it's not her fault everyone was black. It's the production company's fault and the producers and the directors, everyone's fault for having an all black set. As far as I'm concerned, if you can't have an all white set, then you can't have an all black set. It's like you can't have an all brown set. Does that make sense? I have no problem with a film being racially woke. I use the term in its original definition. I use it in the way where it says in the dictionary originally, before it was changed because woke. The original definition of woke is, right? If you don't know it already, it is being aware of racial and political issues. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's being aware of racial and political issues. That's what woke means. So, all right, that's my woke shit out of the way. I will hopefully never ever mention it again, but likelihood will be that something will make me say it again. Well, you feel like you're at a family reunion every day. Was the best thing ever. I mean, I like her. I mean, I think she's a very attractive woman. But next to Zegler's terrible. I mean, how? Because someone even says in the comments on this article, which I'll show you later. Actually, I'll show you now. Someone says in the article here. Where is it? Where is it? Deo says Rachel is so beautiful. Yeah, in this picture, who's better looking in this picture? Because I would pick Halle. I think Halle is much better, so much better looking than Zegler. You know, I'm just saying. But I mean, you could see what way this is going to be going, because I mean, in the bit at the top where they mention social media haters, silencing social media haters, and this is Bailey 23 and Zegler 22. But I mean, it doesn't really go into the fact that they were princesses, and it doesn't. But I mean, I don't even remember them even talking about the toxic fans. I think this bit is basically the only thing that's remotely like a quote from the actual article or interview. Um, but it was the best thing ever. And it was a much smaller role. Yeah, because you're not the lead, are you? So it was so much easier to be really chilling on set all the time. Uh, Watching my heroes like Fantasia and Taraji P. Henson. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. Just looking and being like, how the hell am I here? So you're just standing around doing nothing, just looking and going, how am I here? How the hell am I here? Okay. So Rachel was like, all of us have imposter syndrome. Do you feel that? So where did you go into that? I mean, after Bailey says this, how the hell do you go? Oh, how all of us have imposter syndrome. She's talking at this point. I think she's talking about every single actor. Every actor seems to have imposter syndrome. It's like, well, hang on a minute. Isn't your job to pretend to be someone else, right? Which means that yeah. Your job is to be an imposter because you have to be someone else, right? And then she's asking her, do you feel that? And then Bailey's like, all the time. I'm like, I don't know how this is happening. I know you must feel the same because you're a fellow Disney princess girl. Like I said, I mean, I don't think Ziegler is actually a princess yet. Um, because her movie hasn't come out yet, and the possibility that it might be still even be cancelled, and we might not ever see it. Just saying. Ms. Snow White. I'm so excited to see that. So, Ms. Latino White. Uh, I'll probably get accused of being racist. I'm counting down the days. Well, you'll be counting a very fucking long time. And I saw Hunger Games. Oh, she saw Hunger Games. Woo! Whoa, woo, whoa, woo, whoa, woo. When I was younger, I was a Twilight girl. Here's an interesting thing about Twilight. I found out recently that it could have actually been Emma Watson in Twilight, but I think she might not have been interested because there was some things came up in her life, and she decided to. That's about. She was. I think she was too busy with Harry Potter as well at the time. Still, I was a Twilight girl and a Hunger Games girl. And then when I heard it was you, I'm like, oh my god, this is one of the best bit. Oh my god, she's going to freaking murder it. Yeah, she's going to murder the entire franchise. She's literally going to kill it because she's killed every single thing she's been in. I.e., it's flopped. And you did. I was in tears every time you opened your mouth to sing, literally. Really? I don't even know if I want to see Hunger Games. The Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes. I really don't know if I'm interested in it. But that's such a massive film. It's going to be a massive flop too. It has such history where people care so much about the franchise and get so sensitive over every little thing. How are you able to navigate going into a film like that coming off Snow White? Well, she just say it. She'll probably just call someone a stalker and everything. Oh, look, but here's the funny thing, right? It's not even this one, right? Because Ziegler goes in. I'm not going to go into this. Um, I'm in disbelief that you've got two musicals this year. And that's Bailey, right? Bailey's got two musicals coming out. You two, honestly, I feel most comfortable when I'm able to sing. I'm sure you feel similar. And then we go into this. I was really nervous when I signed on because I really wanted the fans to be able to subscribe to the fact that music fit into the plot somewhere. Well, all she's doing is singing a song that Jennifer Lawrence sung, right? The Hanging Tree one and stuff. And Hey you, blah blah blah. Anyway, I can't sing, so I'm not going to. Coming from the world of music theatre, there's a lot of difficulty in trying to sell that to an audience. Musical theatre, huh? When was she in musical theatre? I don't really care about Ziegler, to be honest. Um, but there's a lot of people that don't want to sit down and watch 2.5 hours of singing. Well, not if you're the ones doing the bloody singing. Sometimes, and you want to make sure that it feels as organic as possible for songs to fit into a plot like The Hunger Games. It doesn't sound right when you say it out loud. Francis Lawrence and Susan Collins had a very clear vision for what they wanted it to sound like. And then we worked with a country music producer, Dave Cobb. I sang live on set, which was crazy. Everybody keeps asking me why I did that. You get it? There's nothing like it. You can't really capture that sound and that feeling any other way. That makes it tricky when you step onto sets like Little Mermaid. You can't even bring yourself to say The Little Mermaid. It's just one word. It's the. She can say full Snow White. She can't, but she won't break. She could break that down. Oh, sets like Little Mermaid or White or Snow. She has, all her titles. The film she was in gets a full title recollection, but the one that Bailey was in gets that she doesn't even say the. Which it suggests to me that she doesn't like. She's not interested. We abbreviate titles for a reason because it makes it easier for us to discuss them in chats and stuff like that. But in an article like this, where you're talking to someone who was actually a main lead character in a movie, you should take the time to say the, right? Where it's all soundstage, so live vocal doesn't always really exist in that world. Well, no, I mean, people used to mime and lip sync and stuff like that. They had to pretend to sing, just like they had to pretend to dance. Because that was part of their job. This is where it gets funny. Ziegler says, you spent 13 hours in a pool. That didn't actually happen because even in the video that they show, they clip in a scene of Bailey hanging from a wire in a harness. She's got two people, one person either side of her, holding her up. So she's not even doing anything. She's just in a sling being moved around. She doesn't even do anything. So there's no actual swimming pool or anything. I'm just saying. It's all CGI. But Ziegler fucking thinks that it was real. So you think, oh, you was in a swimming pool all the time. You had scuba tanks and scuba guys around you with oxygen tanks and stuff. No. She didn't even go in the water. She might have had water sprayed on her when she was on the surface, when she was supposed to be on the surface. But I don't believe that she was in a pool at all. It's. I mean, even that boat scene, that wasn't even on the real water. I mean, they couldn't even bring them. It wouldn't have been cheaper to put that boat on water and have a willow tree, a real willow. No. We're going to spend millions of dollars on a CGI effect that will look terrible. That's really, really intense on your body, but then you're in the middle of a musical shoot where you need to be keeping your voice. Now, that's another thing, right? She probably did sing on set, but to be honest, for most of the singing scenes, I don't think that they actually had microphones on set for the singing, because it would have been done in a studio after, in post production or something, or whilst they were filming. If there was a scene that after a scene was done, they would probably take her into a recording studio and then they would record it, right? It makes more sense that way. But to believe that she was spent 13 hours a day in a pool, no, it was CGI for crying out loud. There are no scenes in The Little Mermaid that even suggest that it was real fucking water. How long is this recording so far? 35 minutes. Okay, so I'm not going to go on for too long. I mean, it's been over half an hour now, so I'm going to start. Let's go down to a bit further. Let's see if I can find the place where they start talking about the fans. Oh, well, here we go. Here's something. Right. I think it says, you, without a pun intended, blew. Blew everybody out of the water. Nice pun. No pun intended, huh? It's an amazing feat, and I'm so impressed. I truly think that any naysayer out there, because there are always people who have something to say, yeah, like yourself. Bailey's like, yeah, always. Zegler's like, you proved them wrong with grace. I was so inspired by the way you handled everybody who had anything bad to say about it. Did you ever let it affect you at all? You definitely didn't publicly. Haley's like, of course, yeah. I mean, we're sensitive. We're human beings. I get my feelings hurt if my cat doesn't want to sit next to me. Now, I can understand, I can see where Bailey's coming from, but I mean, at the same time, Ziegler's asking this and saying that you definitely didn't publicly say anything, because obviously Ziegler said something publicly, repeatedly, multiple times. She even said that if she spends 18 hours a day in a dress, then she should get paid for every hour it is streamed during the strike, right? Now, does that suggest to you that she's interested in even bothering with fans? Do you think I think she's just in it for the money, right? And she knows that the more the public like a movie, the more people like the movies or go to see a movie, the more chance she has of getting paid more later on. And she saw the opportunity during the strike to say that if she's in a dress for 18 hours a day, a dress, mind, not a gown, a dress, then she deserves to get paid for every hour someone watches it. It's streaming. You're talking about streaming. See, this is the problem with actors, is they're looking at it the same way they used to. Thing is, a film will go into the cinema. A few months later, it'll come out on streaming, and it may be on, say, Amazon or something like that, where it's pay to watch. You rent it or buy it, right? But then eventually, after maybe a year or so, I guess it'll be there free to watch, right? If they're lucky. Some streaming services might just take it down. But Disney don't do that. So what will happen is it will go on in the cinema for a while, and then it will go to Disney Plus. Then people will start watching it where they can watch it for their subscription fee, not pay extra. Or most likely, a lot of people do. They will download it as they will pirate it by downloading it, and they will watch it because someone will pay to what probably rent it on somewhere like Amazon or somewhere like that if it's available. They'll watch it, but whilst they're watching it, they'll capture it, and then once they've captured it, they'll upload it to a pirate website, and then people can download it and watch it for free. I used to do that when I was younger, but I don't anymore. Not since I started making YouTube videos, anyway. But I might do it for one that's extremely hard to find. because it might be the only way to find it, especially if you're geo-blocked from it. I was looking for some of the old Godzilla movies earlier on Amazon because I remember seeing that they were on there for a while, and I fancied watching. I fancied watching Godzilla again, and I couldn't watch them. These are the originals, by the way, the original Godzillas from '54 onwards, and they were not. They were available, but they were geo-locked. So yeah, I think you can only watch them if you're in America. You can't even buy them over here. I mean, I even looked on Amazon to see if they were on DVD, and the oldest one they've got on there is Shin Godzilla. So something's going on with Legendary and Toho, maybe. But I'll do a video about that because that's annoying. So, all right, what else? Right, so where were we? Yeah, Ziegler says I'm the same way. So she's basically saying that she's like Bailey says. You know, she definitely didn't publicly say anything. Yeah, so she gets her feelings hurt when a cat doesn't sit next to her. She probably killed the cat. Bailey's like, that's what people don't realise. We're granted amazing opportunities and able to be seen on massive screens, but there's a disassociation. People start talking, start taking you away from being a real human being that has feelings and reacts to things. That was definitely something that I had to navigate, but it turned out to be the most beautiful lesson. To block any naysayers or negativity out. A black woman playing a part that was originally a white woman. It will have some racist people saying stuff, regardless of how good or bad the movie is. I know that, but the naysayers negativity, it depends on who's saying it and what they're saying, whether it's naysayers or negativity, right? You take away the racist remarks, any racist comments, take that out of the equation because that has nothing to do with the overarching thing. If you look at Robin Hood, by Director X, the Canadian Robin Hood series, it's blatantly racist and stereotypical, and he calls out to say that people are being racist about it, when actually no, we're being sensitive to the racism that you are portraying against white people, saying that the one white guy is the bad guy, and all the black people that are doing the illegal stuff are the heroes. It's just completely wrong, and to be honest, as an English guy, a British guy, I should say, I don't like his version of our legendary Robin Hood. And he didn't even know the only reason he knew about Robin Hood is because he probably watched the Disney Robin Hood, the one where where it was the animated one with the animals, because he had Robin Hood wearing a mask which was the shape of a fox. So he's only representing what he saw in an animated movie, which has nothing to do with Robin Hood. It's not the true legend. It was made up. It's called what was the term that was used? I can't remember. I might do a video about that sort of stuff later on at some point. Maybe a drink. And it's like this. Also, I'm an Aries, so I'm a fire. I'm a fire sign. So she's an Aries. a fire sign, which means that she should be up for anything, blah, 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 blah. Yet she gets upset when a cat doesn't, she hurts, her feelings are hurt when her cat doesn't sit next to her. But she's an Aries. Fire sign. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm the hunter. So don't mess with me. People are like, oh, she's so sweet. She's so nice. But a lot of times when I see stuff online, I get mad. Well, here's the thing, right? If you get mad, that's what social media is for, right? Get yourself set up on a YouTube channel where you can directly talk to the fans and say, look, I've heard this stuff recently and I'm not happy with it. You know, and the odds of her watching this video just because it's got her name in the title are extremely low. She's not going to give a shit about someone like me. But Zegler, of course... So she gets mad, yeah, she gets mad, but but the problem is she doesn't have a reason to be mad because we, the fans, have reason to be mad at her because everything she's in bombs in the box office. It's absolute shit. Right, so Bailey's like, I want to respond, but I'll just be like, no, it's okay. The way you're so graceful and respond, it's just the most beautiful thing to see because it's hard being women under the spotlight. People are so critical and say anything that they would never say to your face. I'm pretty sure people would say it to your face. It's like, I like you. You're a nice looking girl. You're a good actress. The problem is the movie that you were in was shit. I'd say it to your face, Hayley. I really would. But Zegler, you scare me because I don't like you. You're terrible. You're toxic. And but we're toxic. I forgot. Sorry, we're the toxic ones. So choosing thankfulness and gratefulness is choosing peace. As much as you'd like to remind people verbally that being in the spotlight doesn't absolve you of your humanity, that you're allowed to have human moments. It doesn't necessarily do what you want it to do. It fuels them more. Here's the thing. Yes, it does fuel us more. But the thing is, we stopped talking about Zegler for a while, right? I noticed that on YouTube that a lot of people were, they turned away from talking about Zegler. So in that time when YouTubers stopped talking about her, she went and done something else. She went and said something else publicly on camera. That then we ended up talking about her even more. I didn't personally, but I'm just saying we as social media or YouTube content creators, we stopped talking about her. Then she said something about us, about the toxic fans. Then we started talking about her again. So she's a narcissistic attention seeker. And, you know, I have no interest in pleasing her. But I just want to bring this into a thing because they don't really say anything about silencing the toxic fans or whatever, the naysayers and the fucking whatever. What do they call us again? Oh yeah, blocking out toxic fans, silencing the social media haters. Things, you're saying stuff like that and you're just going to end up having us talk about you even more. But I'm going to call it there because I don't want to go on about Zegler anymore. And so let's go into the comments again, right? Comments are moderated. So you say anything bad, they're just going to delete they're not going to allow it to be seen anyway. But it's like Janie. Yeah, no. No, guys, sorry it cut off a little bit there. Just having a few issues with OBS. I think I need to update it. I haven't used it that often. So, yeah. So hopefully you like this video. And hopefully I don't have any more of these technical issues. But yeah, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share wherever the hell you like. And comment down below any thoughts, ideas, suggestions. And and as always, guys, stay safe. And may the Schwartz be with you always.